Hello everyone, welcome back to another live stream here on the twitch.tv/Xisuma. And if you're watching on the second channel, that's right. The Hermitcraft songs, all four of them, are now available on major streaming services and on Bandcamp as well. Please do go and check them out. That would be most amazing. Now I am going to slow down a little bit and let people tune in. Right, let's click some buttons. I got severe morning voice right now. I need to get rid of it. Is this thing gonna get going again? It's getting going again. Sweet, sweet. Welcome to the peeps tuning in. I love this, by the way. Amazing fan art right here. Let's throw up the game though. Hi, it's me. I'm the problem, apparently. Welcome everyone, back to another live stream. Do I have like an empty shulker box? That's good. I want to put all my record discs into one shulker box. I've got to start giving these to various hermits at various points. That one's for myself. So today is a Hermitcraft live stream weekend day to which I wanted to participate, but assumed that something would go wrong and plans would change. And that did not actually happen. So I'm here streaming before Joe goes live, and so we can hang out and raid him when the official Hermitcraft live stream weekend kicks off, you know? When did the Shishwami stream pop-up message change to Bandicam? Say what? Is there a schedule anywhere? Yep, live.hermitcraft.com or livestream.hermitcraft.com. Let's see. We've got tools, we've got the bed that goes in the backpack. I might have left, yeah, that somewhere. Oh my god, what was I doing? When was that? I've been out and about and away for a few days. I know where it is though. What else do we do in the stream? Yeah, I've got a plan. We're going to do two very simple things, right? We're going to play some games. That's pretty straightforward, right? And then we're going to make a song in the master music system. I thought, why not? We should take advantage of it. So, yeah, if I pop down here and go down yonder, and maybe it's even over here somewhere, we should find my shulker box. The mystery of the shulker box. Where is it? What happened? Got our third noise. Third. I was literally thinking first. Somehow, my brain's like, third. We got our first noise in the ear. It's Min here. For 4 months. Thank you so much. You have reminded me that I have a hot cup of coffee, and it's a special cup. I got a bag of specialty brew where the coffee beans are mixed with flavor, and I have a cinnamon flavor and I have a chocolate flavor. What's the verdict? Here we go. That's interesting. I'd say it's not bad, not great. It's all right. I'd say I'm mildly underwhelmed, actually, but I had this cinnamon coffee from Portobello Road once. Stuff imported from Colombia. Oh my goodness me, was it gorgeous. Like, to the point where if ever I'm in London and near Portobello Road, I will go back there and get one, you know? Jacket Fracket says, I mean, it's coffee. How special can it taste? Someone is clearly not a coffee drinker. Hey, Provar, thank you so much for the Prime. 83 months. And we got Silver Varg coming in for 71 months. Appreciate you. The Cat Mistress is here for 5. Hope you're having a cooler Sunday than the UK chat. It's sweltering here in the UK. That's interesting because the UK right now is having cold weather. Did you mistype? We've got a I happened to catch the weather forecast on the weekend because I was out and about in a hotel room. They're explaining how this big cold front is coming in over the UK today and Sunday. And I went for a walk this morning. It was cold and it almost looked like it would rain. So I'm going to assume you mistyped because we're experiencing a cold weather system right now. Dan Greasy says it's lovely and cool at the moment. Yeah. I'm assuming a fellow UKer. Phoenix, thank you for your 80 streams in a row. And Min Min is here gifting out a community sub. Thank you so much. Bunkley, you got gifted one. You got gifted one. Oh, ow. Hit me on the head. You'd almost forgotten what cold weather was. Yeah. Yeah, most of this summer, though, I've been thinking, like, oh, I'm loving this warm weather. It'll soon be winter. Enjoy it while it's here. It'll soon be winter. I think I'm going to level out this floor under here. I'm still doing this. I'm still prepping the back area. Efo told me there's a bug with some of my redstone, by the way. We'll go check that out, actually. I wanna find out what that is. It sounded really strange. I was like, well, nothing comes to mind. Sometimes someone tells you about a bug and you're like, oh yeah, that thing. Oh no. But this bug was like, huh? I think the way we're going to look at it is with the free cam. So apparently activating one of the lamps here all the way at the end stops the thing from working. I see absolutely no hint as to why. Nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing misplaced. Although that, interestingly, this right here is... Aha! It's missing... It's... Something's... Wait, that is odd. Okay, so it's missing a block. And that block has stopped it from pushing down. Where is the missing... If that's up, that should all be up. Then we're missing... 2 blocks? I think we're missing 2 blocks there. It's extra confusing. We're somehow missing 2 blocks. That is very peculiar. Now I understand why he says everything would lock up, because it wouldn't get reset. Interesting. Interesting stuff. We're missing 2 blocks. 2 blocks. The hype train has started. Billman68 is here for 145 streams in a row. You did not miss here. Faychild coming in for 30. Baytan Daniil's here for 66. One day the soothing voice will be the guy on the radio as we drive in the middle of the night looking for the troll in the cave. This feels like a reference to something. Yeah, this to me, this tea, this coffee, it feels like you should have it with cream. I don't know, it feels like there's something missing. Oh. I do like it. I do like it. It's just not... I thought it would be super crazy cinnamony, but it's not. Not like that other one I had. To Can of Heaven, thank you ever so much for 22 months. And Anonymous Gifter is here gifting out another community sub. So much appreciated. Thank you for gifting us out. Cuplex! Of course, it's the weekend. It's the morning. 111 months. Good to see you, my dude. JSTP3000 is gifting a sub to Annie Live as well. Lots of generosity today. Love to see it. The hype train continues to roll out. Soundwave Hope is here for 63 as well. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. So, to solve that problem with the redstone, one needs a block that I'm pretty sure ain't in here. I only need one, but I'm gonna go the long way. I need to restock. I need to smelt. I need to pull my finger out. I need to have done this a while ago. So let's crack on with it. Let's crack on. We're gonna rocket out of here. There's me rockets. Go to the smelter. Duh! Smack my face into a wall. As one does, right? As one does. Have you had some Rooibos tea, Xisuma? I have not had Rooibos. I did pick up a PG Tips. What was it? Raspberry flavored tea? I think it's like a green tea. I'm yet to try it. I'm yet to try it. We got some cheers and some biddies here. It's Buffer Peter here. The second hermit I followed was Grian. I really like watching his videos. Good for you, my dude. Good for you. And thank you for the cheers and biddies. I thought you were going to say, like, someone very old. Because when someone talks about, like, first, second hermit, I feel like they're going to mention Biffa. They're going to mention King Daddy D-Mac or Slipgator or someone from way back when. Because Hermitcraft's been around for, I don't know, 13 years? 14? I can't keep count anymore. This is my 15th year on YouTube. We're about a month and 2 weeks away from 15 years. I can't tell you what that means. I'm not really sure I understand what it means myself. Yeah, we'll take this. The other stuff is smelting. I also need some glass. Gem was technically your first hermit, but she wasn't a hermit. Ah, so you were watching Gem before she was a hermit. Got ya. Anyway, I would say, you know, we don't need to go into semantics. I'd say 15 years, well done. It ain't been bad. It ain't been bad at all. And we're hitting a new chapter now. I don't know how many of you have seen it already. It was there at the beginning of the stream. I'm going to keep talking about it, but I've put some of the music that I'm doing this season here on the server onto Bandcamp and onto the streaming platforms. When I say some, basically all of it. And that is the plan. All of the record discs that I make on the server will now be on Bandcamp and streaming platforms. Because, you know, I would love it if making music became my job or a living. That being said, it wouldn't ever be treated like a job. But if you don't try, you don't know. Plus, if we put these songs on the streaming platforms, they can reach more people. So I have the consent of the other hermits to give it a shot. And so I've been able to put those songs out there, which is fantastic. But it's early days. Early days. Hardly anyone knows they're there yet. I've got to start talking about it, you see. Got to let the world know. Right. Yesterday, by the way, was the EFO song. That's the one I dropped. I absolutely love that song. It came together so well. Like, every song is its own little tale, its journey. And where I've been learning to produce music again so much lately, where I've been able to put the time in. This one just came together so quick. It was like... It just was such a pleasure to put together. It flowed really well. And I've produced the track in a way... I've been trying to pick up some new production techniques to make things faster, more efficient, also just better, because I've set up this track in a way where it should make it really easy to create other songs that fit the same vibe. So if EFO's like, hey, I want a song for this area of my game, we can be like, ah, okay. Now we can go back to that project and use all of its assets and basically build out another song for it, which would be really cool. All right, the hype train has finished. Thank you, people, for the hype. Ever since you got a keyboard, you sometimes random hear your partner play with it. It's funny. Hey, encourage them. Encourage them. Musical instruments are a pleasure. So, we fixed a redstone bug over here, and now I think we're ready to go play some games. But I might need your help, chat, because I'm not entirely aware of what these games are and how to play them, but I'm aware that XB Crafted has 2 really interesting games. And I want to check them out. Ethos song, really good, says Zeus the Knob. Is that an official review? Can I put that on my resume? Really good. Thank you, my dude. Far over missed. Thank you for 85. We got Boffer Peter here. I really like Tango. Good times with Scar. I own Hermitcraft TCG card. I have Grian and Good Time with Scar TCG cards. Cool, cool. Yeah, I have all of them. Sorry. That just came out wrong. But yeah, I like being a hermit and being a part of putting all that together. I have I also have the TCG cards, but I have all of them. Do you know what I mean? But I'm glad you like them. They were such an awesome project. Like, Beef did us good with that one. Having our own collectible playing cards, very, very fun, very cool. Right, I don't know why I'm staring into here because we're done with Minecrafty stuff like that. We're gonna go play games. Gonna play hermit games. Gonna drink some more of this. I'm actually warming up to this coffee the more of it I drink. Also, I have my own cinnamon spice I can mix in. I've been on a real health kick lately because of my injuries. A little update for the 3 of you out there that actually care. I stopped doing my rehab exercises because I was doing them and it was clearly the cause of aggravation to me one day. I stopped going in the sauna because that clearly was aggravating it. And now I've gone several days without, you know, just walking around in my regular boots, my barefoots. And it's feeling better day by day. So I'm going to stick with that for a few more days and then slowly start up the rehab again. But yeah, it feels like I'm on the mends now. It feels like, okay, we've got things going in the right direction. It's not this back and forth. It's getting better day by day, and that's good. That's good. Man, look at all this over here, all these storage systems. This one's cool. This looks super cool. I don't know if it has any, like, technicality to it. Whoa, sounds. Oh yeah, look, there's a whole bunch of redstone in here. What caused the injury? Too much running. I don't even know what I'm looking at right now. Why are there sulfur cubes here? Is this a storage system? Not sure. This one's cool. Feed me. Is this EFO's, I know EFO built one of those search systems somewhere around here. This could be an easy housing for it. But I ain't got a clue. I just got distracted and decided to come over here. Griffin, thank you ever so much for the raid. Much appreciated. Welcome, peeps. You're joining us at the beginning of a Hermitcraft live stream weekend. The second day, so a whole day. No scars allowed, the magic machine. And then we got an empty plot. Then we got the chest monster. Ethos is the chest monster. I thought Pearl built the chest monster. Oh wait, maybe this one here. Okay, this one. That's the one that Scar built in season 7, right? Don't know what this one is. This honestly just looks like a basic funneling of items through a line of chests, like chests and hoppers. I don't know. Don't look like there's any redstone involved there. There you go. So this is Etho's search machine. I can't get up to it though. Got a hop. Huh. Got a parkour. I never got my head around that search machine. I would love to understand it one day, but I never quite figured it out. Maybe this one's like golem powered or something. The chest monster was a shop. In season 7 it was, I think. In season 7 it was. But now we get to walk through Scar's beautiful landscape. And find some of his random junk that's been left behind, you know? Pearl built the first one I looked at. Ah, okay, thanks. Cookie, you're breaking your fasting. You're having chicken salad. Oh. Oh. Man, I've been eating 5 meals a day and I hate it. Just feels so wrong to be constantly eating. But I'm getting through it. I'm getting through it. I won't do it forever. I had turkey soup and eggs for breakfast. I'm gonna have... I forget what I'm gonna have next. I think it was just ice cream and a yogurt. Then I'm going out for a meal. That'll be a big meal, so that's like 2 meals rather than 1. And then I'm gonna have some porridge for supper. That's my day today, in terms of food. Why I'm eating 5 meals a day, any particular reason? Yeah, to heal up faster. Basically, you got to keep giving your body protein so that it can synthesize it and repair the damage. So I am switching to that. So far, seems good. Right, so this game over here, I believe was made by XB. And I have no idea how to play, and I was kind of hoping there'd be instructions somewhere. What is this? Oh, wait, okay, there is a lectern. How did I not see it? Let's go over here. Shuffed to bits. Alternate turns back and forth until both teams. Oh, it's a team game. I thought I saw that there was a solo game that XB had made. What's this? Scoring visual result, red 6, blue 0. Like 6.6 points. Do they cancel it? I don't know what that... Oh my god, this is like a puzzle. You gotta decrypt to understand what's going on here. So each team takes 4 shots. There's a 3 and a 2 lane. I think we can see that if we go up top. 1, 2, 3, and maybe there's a 4? Okay. I'm determined to figure... Shuffleboard like the game. I've never played shuffleboard, but I know that's a game. And Nigunko, thank you so much for 100 streams. Much appreciated. So 2 of your shots end up in the free area, you get 6. But because blue are behind it, I'm guessing it wins in that area. And then here there's a draw, but then that isn't counted. I mean, I guess it's like the furthest most 2 there at 1 point. And the furthest most 2 here cancelled each other out. Maybe that's what I'm looking at. So in this scenario, the furthest most forward are those 2. But it doesn't cancel it out. So maybe it's like whoever finishes closest to the line wins the other point. Because we've got a draw here, no one wins points. Here you win that point, but red's next, so you don't win anymore. And then we've got a draw again. Now red wins 9, it's closest to the line, and it's got 2 behind it. And then we've got another draw. On this one, red gets 5 because 1 shot is there, and the closest to the line was 2. I think that's it. I think it's about closest to the line. If even a single pixel of a pluck is hanging over the back of the table without falling off, that's a 4-pointer. A puck is officially in the point range as long as the single pixel touching the ice is in that section. Okay. I guess with it being a multiplayer game, that's it. I think the visualizer could have perhaps done with an actual explanation to go along with it. I liked figuring it out, but it's... Oh, they got names. But yeah, it felt a bit... Some people will probably look at that and go, I don't know, and move on. Anyway, I would like to play that at some point, but I guess not. I guess not today. XB's games are in his base. Okay, did XB make this game, though? Wait, is this the game that Skiz made? I see some of you talking about Skiz, and I just had a flashback. I saw Skiz standing somewhere on his stream. I didn't tune in and just saw the, like, the thumbnail thing. And he was standing in front of a bunch of ice like this. Oh, okay. Impulse and Skiz made it. Right. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. Right. Petter Petito Gaming, thank you ever so much for coming in and subscribing, my dude. Appreciate it. Thank you for the subscription. All right. This is the area. And that is one of the games. This is definitely a single player game, right? I'm sure this one is. Don't fall down there. Basic idea. Chaos Cubed is loosely based on the game Skee Ball, in which the player attempts to get a ball into holes of varying point values to achieve the highest score possible in the time limit. How Chaos Cubed is different. Given the limitations of Minecraft, the player does not roll a ball, but instead uses the provided sword to hit a cube which is incredibly bouncy into the holes of varying size points of value. I'm loving the scenic sounds here. Very atmospheric. Feel like I'm touching grass. There are 4 holes in the board for the player to attempt to score in. Values are as below. So we get white for 1, yellow for 2, cyan for 3. How to play, place 1... Oh, the rinsing me of my diamonds. Place 1 diamond in the purple shulker to start the round. When a round starts, a bell will ring once, a cube will fall from the ceiling, and lights will flash. Position yourself however you see fit and hit the cube with the sword. Let's read that again. When it starts, a bell will ring and a cube will fall. So you got to hit the cube. Hopefully you don't have to hit it before it hits the ground and you miss your shot, because I'm probably going to miss my shot. Once the cube has been hit, press the button on the floor to drop a new cube. Players must wait for the previous cube to settle prior to hitting a new cube to ensure scoring is spaced out enough to count. Repeat steps 2 and 3 until the music stops, 2.5 minutes. The lights stop flashing and the bell rings, indicating the end of the round. If a cube is at the starting position at the end of a round, it may be used as a last chance for more points. Okay. The player with the highest score every 30 days will receive all diamonds paid by other players. Oh, nice. Nice. Let's get some diamonds together. I have plenty of diamonds because in one of our last streams we went around and picked them all up. Let's do that. Probably need to put the ones I picked up into here though. Wow, those sulfur sounds are loud, right? Drop down the hole, I can do. X activating every brain cell he has to read this, says Tally Corridor. I have a problem where when I'm streaming and I'm reading something out loud, in fact, I'm not even streaming. If I read something out loud because other people are listening, I can't seem to like internalize what I'm reading very well. It's something about focusing on reading it just stops me understanding like what I'm actually reading. So, you know, it's like I'm reading, and that fellow Xisuma should turn around and collect the grand prize before they leave, and I'll go, all right, we read the book, off we go, woo, and then I just completely forget to get the grand prize. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. So we pay there. Okay, in case it, right, yeah, so we use this. Kind of looks like it hasn't reset since the last person played. Maybe I shouldn't have pressed that button, and then I could have got an almighty high score. Right, so we put in a diamond here, then the game begins. Oh, we got actual music. We got actual music, right. Oh. Wait, did that go in the white one straight away? I think it did. Does that mean another one comes down automatically, or do I press the button? I press the button. Okay. Bouncy, bouncy. Oh. So it didn't get any points, and that's okay, I think. I think it just makes its way back to the beginning. Huh. Right. I think that this game needs some custom music. I don't know about all of y'all, but I think that like a hermit should make a song for XP that plays. Oh. Hello. Oh. Okay, let's go. So we did it really great the first time. It might be that if we stand here and just hit the very bottom in the middle. That was unexpected. That was also unexpected. The heck just happened, man? Let's try again. I guess, oh yeah, the cursor here tells you what's going on. So that's your chip shot. Oh, look how close that was to cyan. So if we can get a natural chip shot in and just hit it over and over again. Right, that's gonna, I think that might have to be super duper fine. If we're gonna get that every time, that's gotta be like one pixel perfect. Oh man. Maybe not. Maybe it needs a little bit more juice. Noah Parks, thank you for 95 streams in a row. Appreciate it, my dude. So with a little more gap. Oh my god, I think a little bit more gap might be what it needs. It just needs to go straight more than anything. Oh! Okay. Oh, I was going to say, now it goes in. That is a really, really tough shot, that first cyan one. There might not actually be, like, an easy way to get that. Now, I think we're supposed to reset the score ourselves. Did that one pop out of that hole? Let's go ahead and reset it ourselves. You can push them onto other honey blocks. Yeah, well, I'm looking for a very, like, consistent experience. If that makes sense. So, like, let's say we now aim at the top corner there. It bounces, like, it bounces off one of the edges. That's what annoys me. It's so close. Oh! Did that one have a different texture to the last one? I was thinking about using its texture to consistently hit in the same place. Let's say we go really high up like that. That's not going to be good enough. Although it kind of just hit the cyan again. Interesting. So in order to further experiment, I'm going to hit you in your forehead. Now you've got much more depth to the shot. Right, that's kind of what I wanted to show off. So. Oh, apparently I got a point. I didn't see which one went in. Hitting it at the very bottom in the middle from here. Not going to work. I can keep trying to go up a little bit, but I have a feeling it's not the strategy. Let's say we aim now like 1 pixel line up. Oh, so close. So close. So you see it, then you go 1 pixel line up, now 2 pixel lines up. Oh, close again. I'm getting so little points trying to figure this out. So, 1, 2, but let's go half in between. Oh! It's like, where is that perfect angle? I feel like we've gone behind it, we've gone in front of it, we can't seem to land on it. Let's now go 1, 2, 3, 4 up to there. Oh. Yeah, new strategy. Someone in chat suggested chip shot off the wall. Oh, interesting. With the same sort of... Like, what if I aim in the corner down there? Bottom corner. Oh! That was different, wasn't it? Is that the end of the song? Someone should really compose a custom song for this guy. Oh, there might be something to this. Let's go reset the score. I know we're still Just in practice mode and stuff, but we'll reset it anyway. So, Jake says, put yourself on an angle, hit and run. This is the thing I can't really decipher about playing with these sulfur cubes, is that I don't think where you are seems to matter all the time when you hit it, but sometimes maybe it does. Like, if I stand here and hit it right in the very corner again, I'm not sure that where I'm standing influenced it that much, so let's stand on the opposite side. And then come in and... Well, clearly it did that time because it went in the opposite direction. I've sussed out top to bottom. Top to bottom is quite easy to understand. It's left to right thing is just not. So I might end up like having to stand, let's say, like right on top of this corner here, just so I can reposition that each time, right? Like once you find your shot that works, you want to hit it over and over again. So let's say it's not there. Now I'm going to go stand about here and try the same shot. There's all these variables. You got to get them just about right. What if we're like back to the wall? Ah, too far away then. No. That was no good. The hitting range looks bigger. What does that mean? Elaborate, please. What happens if I aim backwards? What is aiming backwards? Like, that way? Oh, it's not a bad theory. It's not a bad theory. Like, what if I shoot all my shots from here? What if this actually works? Okay, that was really poor. I need to stand here and like hit it straight down the middle. I think I was slightly in the way. Cause oh my god! Like imagine if it does that and comes back in. Okay. Because if it loses its bounciness right there, that's a perfect way. Oh. Perfect way for it to go in the hole, basically. I'm having one more shot. That hit my head, I think. Oh! Oh, not quite. Not quite. Oh my god. It is hitting me, that's fine. If that's just part of the process, I'm fine with it. Whoopsie, that's my mistake. 2 for 1. Maybe now we stay here. We get right in the middle. As in the middle as we can. And we just go up a little bit more now. Hits me. Big bounce. Oh, not quite. Not quite. Maybe I don't hold shift. Come on. Oh. Not today. Not today. Leon HU, 45 streams. Joke time. Why don't people play poker in the jungle? There's too many cheaters. Oh my god. That feels like a kid's joke. Dang it. How is it that I can get close yet be so far? Close yet far. Drop me a line and tell me how the hell you are. Yeah, that didn't work. Like a bit more to the middle. Right in the face. I'm in the game! This is not how it works. Oh, look at those profits. My goodness me. Wait, does that mean there's not a filter on this thing? Can I just put in junk? How do I get back up? Also, I want a refund. Wasting time. There's probably a way out of here. I just don't know what it is. And violate XP's honor system? I would never do that, would I? Random chicken. Chicken! Laying an egg. Another random chicken. Maybe it's not a random at all. Maybe it's some form of coincidence. Maybe just fly up from the water. Yeah, that's actually pretty smart. I don't know why my brain's like, I expect to see an exit around here. I probably would have ended up digging my way out. Of all things. What was that game called? Shuffleboard, right? Make a home in there and wait to be discovered. Yeah. That would be something, wouldn't it? I like this game. I cannot figure out a method for consistently scoring. I'm okay with having a go and randomly hitting the balls, but I want to gamify, you know what I mean? I want to figure it out. Right, if we're gonna play any more games today, I need to stand because I have sat down and now my body is like, why are we sitting? This is horrible. Oh. Oh, much better, much better. Much better. And we can resume some music. We should totally put my own music on the playlist today because it is for Minecraft. So why not? Invite XP to watch, you play and then jump in. Yeah, XP, I'm really good at your game. Look, I made a base in it. I've lived here for ages. Maybe we head over to Beef. Wait, that's the wrong thing. This one. Maybe we head over to Beef and see what's happening in the Bizace. The Bizace? No one ever calls it that. No one but me. This place is gorgeous. Oh, it's like a diner. Oh, look at this. Freshly baked cookies. Yes, please. Oh, man, that's cool. I like the paper there. Hey, Beef.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
Pretty good. This place looking amazing.
Thank you. You're looking real handsome.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a sulfur cube at the moment.
Yes, you are.
That indeed. Dude, is this like an 80s mall?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's an 80s mall.
I felt myself getting...
I mean, these sales signs are going to be dispersed, but this one is kind of my favorite, like those old 80s electronic stores.
Ah, dude, I thought this was going to be like a shop for sale signs.
Oh,
that's just what they sell.
I considered that. I actually did consider that.
Oh man, the first mobile phones, the beeper. Wait, the beefer.
The beefer.
Now, I never had a beeper. Wasn't it that someone could just message you a short message? Is that how it works?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah, I never had one either. This is slightly before my time, but yeah, it was all the rage.
It's like call home, that kind of thing.
Exactly, or emergency, or something like that.
Imagine getting one that just said emergency, and that's it. You don't know who it's from. That's the only bit of information you get. Right. You're like, uh-oh.
I think it did show the person's number, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I can't be sure.
Do you know, the day before yesterday here in the UK, we were standing in a car park and everyone's phones went off because we had one of those emergency broadcasts.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, everyone's panicking, and then everyone's phones blowing up with messages from people saying, did you just get this emergency message?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then I looked around and everyone in the car park is just on their phone talking to people all of a sudden. So silly.
Yep. Modern technology.
Yeah. Oh, I remember this stuff. Not the Commodore. I had an Amstrad, and then I had like a 486.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, if you look carefully, it's not a Commodore. It's a Craftador 64.
Oh, right. Got to avoid that copyright. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Some of these aren't named yet. This is the Boom Blocks.
Oh, yeah. That's clever.
Yeah,
and you got vintage beef great. Cassette red. Very classy.
Yeah, not named yet, actually. But that could be a name. Could be a possibility.
That's
I
great.
should sleep. This mall is not safe.
Doesn't look
although
it.
We do have that mob issue. So hey, you know what? Maybe it is safe.
You got mall security over here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's very cool. What else you got cooking in this place?
This is the PC shop right here. So we just got a bunch of PCs going on. Let me go sleep real quick because I'm a little bit worried. And then across from where my bed is, that's the pet store over there, which I think is really nice. I'll be there in 1 second.
Oh, I can hear the cute ant. Oh, that's so sweet. Whoa. You got a trapdoor problem over here.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a... Yeah, that's a... Just ignore that.
Oh, this is amazing. Wait.
Right?
Wait. How... Are you water... Wait, what is going on here? Are you using, like, item frame glass blocks or something? No, not item frame. Armor stand. No?
No. So what's happening here is there are chests underneath with ever so slight amount of water, and then I squish the fish down with glass. It's an Avamance made a video about it, and I jumped on it. Perfect opportunity for my pet store. Yeah, it looks awesome. Like you don't have to have a bulky. The only thing is you can't get them like higher up. They're kind of always on the bottom because that's where the water is. So
and they stay still.
Only thing. Yeah,
they don't swim around. I like the blue concrete behind it. That's a clever little trick as well.
Yeah, just to make it look
looks
more like a
really good in this corner. Oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah, I got birds and stuff. I got my little animals. I mean, I don't condone any of these pet store practices nowadays, but this is how it was back in the day. You'd walk into a shop and, yeah.
It's a bit like going to a zoo. You know, when you're a kid, it's like, look at all the amazing animals. And then when you're older, you're like, they're all in cages.
This is a travel agency.
Yes,
These
I get the vibe.
In the back, yeah.
They're like flags, and mountains.
Flags.
Yeah, locations, airplane,
palm trees, and
food, coffee, beer.
There you go. Yeah, that's the Oktoberfest travel package.
Oh, brilliant! Are they names?
No, they're not.
Oh, dude, you could name them and put so many little jokes in here.
My favorite is like right here, the plane with the swoosh behind.
The swoosh, yeah, that's cool. That one.
Yeah, I really like that one.
That's awesome. Yeah, banners are cool. They're kind of one of those things where I wish just like maybe every other little drop they do, just add in a new banner pattern.
Let's
get a few more of those, you know.
Yeah, this is an arcade.
Oh, dude, yeah, the vibe is right. The vibe is right.
Ceiling is my favorite. Got the glowy ceiling in the arcade.
Oh, definitely. Oh, yeah, the bike, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is awesome. And you got the controllers for the armor stand stuff.
There's a lot of armor stand. I mean, I've done a lot of armor stand work around here, but yeah, that was a lot. This is like 0 armor stand work, and I think it turned out pretty good. The pinball machines.
Yeah, that's really nice. I like this as well. This is that you shoot hoops, and then the little basket starts to move left to right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a local arcade that we go to, and one day we hit like 300 hoops or something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it wasn't like a high score, but it was like quite impressive. Dude, you got a ponytail.
Yeah, I do.
You got an.
It's the 80s. What are you talking?
It's shiny.
You gotta have a ponytail. And then I guess those are the food places down there. Still working on the pizza place, the Cookie Castle, and then over here is just a library/bookstore, but nothing too special in that one, other than just a wall of books.
Yeah, this place is awesome, man. I love it. You've really like picked something out that you can lean into, but you get to go in lots of different directions with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of opportunity for creativity.
Yeah, that I think is something really nice to have, because in this game it can be easier to pick something big, and then you just end up doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, then you're stuck with it for like months and months, if not years.
Yeah, is this where people put their like leftovers?
Yeah, exactly.
At the mall,
the tray cart or trolley,
cool.
Whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's a sweet project. It really like explains itself well, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not even like probably a quarter of the way done, but I like each shop is its own individual project, so it's kind of fun to just start it and finish it like pretty quickly.
Yeah, man, they're turning out great so far. So are we gonna
let's go play some
shuffleboard? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. It is. Oh, can I get my bearings?
I'll follow you.
That's Ethos base, so it's this way.
Yes.
Yeah, this way here.
Okay. I've not played shuffleboard.
Neither have I, but I think I figured out how the scoring works.
All right.
And we should probably read the instructions again.
Okay.
See, Beef, I was telling my audience that I have this problem where if I'm reading something out loud to other people, I can't in my head at the same time understand what I'm reading.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, that's, I mean, I guess that's probably not abnormal because I get the thing all the time where I read like a paragraph and then before I know it I have no idea what I've read and I have to go back and read.
Yeah, I've done that loads with books. Just keep rereading the same bit over and over again. Do you want to have a read and
Sure.
see what you think of it?
All right, let's see. Do you want me to read out loud for the viewers?
As long as that doesn't stop you from understanding.
I should be okay. I should be okay.
Okay, that's
Instructions. Shuffed to bits. Oh boy. Round. Alternating turns back and forth until both teams have shot all 4 of their pucks, okay? Scoring, the team with the furthest puck/pucks gets points for the round. Scoring visual results. Red 6, blue 0. Red
Okay,
6,
that I can explain to you because I went over the examples and figured it out. Yeah, I can explain it to you after if you like.
Okay, I think I get that. Scoring visual, red 0, blue 3, because blue is the closest to the 3, and then they're tied for the 2. Okay, got it. And then red 9, blue 0. Oh yeah, red absolutely destroyed in that one. Okay, I get that. All right, qualified points. A puck is officially in the point range as long as a single pixel is touching the ice of that section. A 4-pointer. If even a single pixel of a puck is hanging over the back of the table without falling, that's a 4-pointer. Ooh, that's exciting. To start the game, flip the lever to trigger the RNG bumpers. No need to look for a pattern, there isn't one. Okay. Wind burst. The team not shooting can use up to 2 wind burst obstructions per throw. Okay, that's where it gets complicated. Wind burst obstructions. Okay. The round killer. If a team's puck ends up back on the wood platform behind the starting line due to a perfectly timed wind burst, then that team loses the rest of their shots for the round. The other team finishes their shots at their own pace. Wow. Okay, so that seems like a huge advantage there.
I'm glad you understood that. Maybe I just don't understand words. Like a lot of that towards the end, I read it earlier and I was like, I'm going to struggle with this, and I'm still struggling with it.
So I'm not exactly sure. So with the wind charges, I guess you can. Are they on these things here?
Yeah, they look like it, don't they? But like,
so do you
when,
hit the
where,
note
and
block?
how? Yes, you do, because there's an observer there. So hitting the note block would activate that. Okay, so that makes sense. We're actually interacting with the game down here as well. I was wondering, we got a spear here. Do we take it in turns to hit them? Because this book mentions that you flip a lever to trigger the RNG bumpers.
Where is
like, where's the lever and where are the bumpers?
There's nothing down here. Okay, that's the return, I think. These are the spears. Lever. Read that first part again. To start the game, flip the lever to trigger the RNG bumpers. No need to look for a pattern. There isn't one. Flip the lever. It's got to be, maybe it's like in the back here. Let me see.
Could be. There's a button down here at the front, but like, maybe he just said lever when he meant to say button, you know? I'm not sure.
Maybe. That could be it. Or maybe he updated it to a button and forgot to change it.
It's probably worth a try.
Oh no. I accidentally... Okay. Was that me?
I mean, I wasn't here. I was on the glass.
I guess maybe I landed on it. That might have been what happened there.
I think because they both went to the end, they'll come back down here. Someone in my chat told me it is this button, so that's good.
It is that button. Okay.
And then I can see this redstone down here.
Okay, the cube is back here. So I can pick him up, right, with a bucket and place him back down?
Yes.
Okay. An empty bucket. Let me get rid of my water here. I'm assuming nothing got triggered for the game.
I don't think so, because the scoring is all done by us.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there a red one as well?
Was there 2? There probably was 2. I'll put the blue one.
So where's the red one ended up?
It's got to be around here somewhere. I'm already breaking the game. We haven't even started.
They get funneled down that way.
Oh, so there's another collection point, I think. Wait a second. I only see the one, though.
I've had the smart idea of pretending I'm a
it's
sulfur
here.
cube. Oh, okay.
It's here. It's here. All right. How do they straighten up, by the way? They just automatically just straighten up?
Yeah, when you place them, it'll put it right in the middle of the block.
Okay. Well, he's not looking at me, but that's okay. I think it still works.
Can I
Did
escape?
you bring a bed by any chance?
I always have a bed. Yeah.
Okay, good, because it might get dark here soon. All right, so I imagine we take one of these guys, a wooden spear.
Do a little charge at it. You might have to use the poke because the charge might hit multiple at once. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think the poke is probably best. And then how do we gauge
Sunny
strength? Is it,
Glaze,
how
thank you for
close
84.
you are to it, or how does that work?
So, the strength of the attack is based on the attack damage. So,
Right.
the wooden spear defines that, but you can do critical hit. And then, like, it's a mix of things, and it's really, I find it awkward because it's hard to get your head around it, but not only does where you aim left to right on the cube and top to bottom affect
yeah.
what direction it goes in, so does where you, the player, are relative to the sulfur cube.
Oh, okay. That part
Yeah.
I did not know. All right.
I haven't been able to I can figure out the first bit pretty well. If I stand directly behind it, I can get it to go where I want. But then when you start factoring in where, you're standing to the left or the right, it gets messy.
Okay. Well, let's give it a shot. Let's see what happens. Should I hit the button?
Yeah, go for it. So this is going to do some
All right.
RNG bumper stuff. And nothing happens.
Yeah, what?
Let's go down. Let's go down and have a look. So
Okay. Oh, yeah. No, I definitely have to. I'll analyze this redstone and I'll tell you exactly what's wrong.
it looks like it's relatively simple so far. Then it gets complicated. Okay, so we got like it creates a one-time 4-tick pulse.
Okay.
Then we're using shulker boxes with water in it. That's going to create a signal strength there. Oh, they got varying amounts. Okay, I get it. So it's going to activate this red coder over here at random.
Okay.
So you're going to get a random output that goes into these observers. And then those are going to go, by the looks of it, push a random block upwards. Yeah, because you've got where the rail comes out, it goes to an observer and then goes to a piston.
Yeah.
So
are these like obstacles?
they're doing something like that. They basically push and pull a block up. Oh, they might actually, yeah, they might be obstacles. They might be
I
obstacles.
think they are obstacles. Okay. Oh, all right. So, but nothing happened when we pushed the button. So
It didn't, which is curious because it kind of looks like everything's okay. There is actually a shulker box left here that maybe isn't supposed to be there. That would explain why nothing happened.
Should I push the button and see what happens there,
Yeah,
signal-wise?
that's a great idea. Give it a push and I'll have a look. Did you just push it?
Pushing the button now.
Okay. Interesting. It makes 2 pulses. Okay. The problem is definitely this. Well. Hang on. Is it above a hopper?
The button?
I'm looking at this shulker box. I just want to make sure I don't break. So okay, I see how it works. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So I think if I break this, it might reset it to some extent. Okay. So what's happened on the playing field up above? 1 block got pushed up.
One ice block is now pushed up.
So if you press that button again,
Okay.
I think the idea is that you just randomize the field. I don't think there's much more to it.
Oh, I see. It's going now. Blocks
Oh!
are up and down. Although that
Okay.
1 block is still up permanently.
It probably shouldn't be.
Right.
So there's a timer there, and it's randomly moving the blocks up and down. Interesting. You gonna try and fix it?
I can. Oh, I guess we could just, yeah, I was gonna like climb in between.
We just break some
sulfur
glass.
blocks. Yeah, yeah. Where's my silky touch? Hey, let's put you back there. And now
Rockets.
Rockets away.
Hey.
Okay, I think we're finally ready to play here.
It looked like you flew behind the sign and disappeared.
I did.
I was like, oh, where's Beef? He's gone. Oh, he's behind me.
All right, so do we have to decide who goes first then?
You can do the honors.
Okay.
Wait. Did it stop?
It stopped. I was just going to say, I think it stopped.
Did it stop because it broke? It did not break. So if I go press that again, I have a feeling you may be supposed to do that after you've taken some shots. No, it does say to start the game. Okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah.
I'll go press the button.
Unless there's a lever somewhere else, but I don't think so.
All right, take a shot.
All right, let me just...
So you're red. Okay.
Okay, so that went way too hard. Okay.
Oh, I think I might have done the same. I've definitely done the same.
Yeah. I'm going to try and pop it.
Oh, that was different.
That was different. I don't know if it got far enough to get any points.
You are getting points.
That bumper is stuck, I think.
Stuck. Yeah, it is stuck.
Okay, I'm going to try...
Ooh.
Oh, I bumped yours even further. Wait, did I bump it off?
4 points. 4 points. Oh.
Yes.
Oh, dang it. Oh,
okay.
dang it.
Is that gonna? Oh, that looks like a good one.
Oh dear.
Okay. Let me pop it a little slower. Ooh, no, I hit yours out of accidentally.
Illegal. It's a foul.
It's gonna end up getting like the most points.
Nah,
Okay,
maybe.
Let's grab that one. It might.
Right, but then there's this thing about using the wind burst, right? So if I went here and did that.
Oh, wow.
So there's a little bit of that going on.
Okay, let's chalk that up to... I mean, I wish we could figure out the actual bumpers and if they're working properly or not. Who built this?
This was built by Skiz.
Skiz. Okay. We have to consult Skiz at some point, but let's just keep going and see what happens.
Well, that was... I mean, does it say when you get to use the wind burst? The team not shooting can use up to 2 wind burst obstructions per throw. That to me sounds like when you take your shot, the other team can be up there using the wind bursts. Also, this might be like a 2-player per team game. The round killer. That doesn't sound like it's helpful. So it's alternating turns back and forth until both teams have shot all 4 of their pucks. I think when one person is shooting, you get to use the wind burst. And I think this thing was supposed to be a lever so that like you turn it on or off so it runs throughout the game, but currently it doesn't. It could be that Skiz was maybe like in the process of changing stuff. This might be unfinished, you know what I mean? Hey Beef. You're muted. You're definitely muted.
Oh no. Okay, I'm muted now.
I don't know how long that was for, but it was like, hang on, what's going on here?
Long. My dog's kind of making a bunch of noise behind me. He's got he just had a surgery and he's got a big cone on, so the cone just smacks into everything.
You don't have to mute for that. I don't mind. That's fine. Poor little doggy.
Are they all down here now? Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, we got them all back. How do I tell them apart? Oh, I can. Right, fire then tube. It tells you when you look over it. Were they on the? They were on the ice, weren't they? They were there, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Every other block and every other alternating colors. Is there any more here? No.
Right, I need a fire. Tube. Okay.
All right.
So
Perfect.
this time, if you take your shot first, like last time, we press this button, and then I can apparently fire 2 of these wind burst things off. So.
Okay. I don't think the button did anything.
Nah, it probably broke again.
Okay.
Yeah, take your shot.
All right. Here we go.
Oh, I might just let that go.
Yeah,
I'll let it go.
that's going over. Okay, your turn.
Right, I think you got to
Let me
bounce
see
these off
here.
the walls.
I think so.
So I'm going to go with this one. Boop. Oh, that still looked too strong.
Oh.
Oh, it might stop.
Oh no!
Oh! Oh, wait, it's
wait,
going to
it
go
might go over, it
off.
might go
It's
over.
just drifting off. Oh, no. Hey,
Oh,
look.
the button now. The button's working.
Oh, I have a theory. Let me check something with my free cam. Oh, maybe not. I was wondering if it detects when there's... Yeah, if it detects when the sulfur cubes are, like, in the game, and then activates that system again, but there's no redstone, so I don't know. All right, do you want to...
Okay.
Wait, whose shot is it?
Yep. I think it's mine.
Oh, so I got to go up there. Okay.
Yeah. I'll wait for you to take your seat, and then I'll sleep in the meantime.
Yeah, good idea. It's getting a bit dark.
Otherwise, we'll really break some redstone. Okay,
All right.
here we go. I am ready to go. I am going to pop it just a tad.
So you didn't use the poke one, did you?
Yeah, that's what I used. Poke.
Oh. That looked like it set
Poke
off
is
right
left
next
click,
to it.
right?
Yeah, what am I thinking? Yeah. So, like, there's the jab, and then there's the poke. I've been using the poke the whole time. So
Yeah,
have you been doing some jabbing as well?
No.
No,
not
okay.
once.
Oh, dang, your one. That's a good shot. You got points on the board now. Right, I'm taking
Yeah, but
mine.
It's in the 1 point section. Okay, go for it. Oh, okay. I don't like this at all.
Oh, no! Uh-oh,
no,
wait.
You might bump the other ones out.
Oh! Wait, did I just lose a shot? Oh, my goodness me.
Oh, wait. Is that the rule?
I think I just
that might
lost
be the
2
rule.
shots. I mean,
Hold on.
one went in there, and the other one is now, like, past the starting line. I think that was the shot of the century, Beef.
Oh, yeah, you lose the rest of your shots.
Oh, my goodness me.
Okay, so let's score some points here. Let's get some points on the board.
Oh, you got this. You technically don't have to do anything.
That's true.
Although I do get 2 shots per turn. So if I shoot here... Hey! Hey!
Oh, no.
I knocked him back. Wait, one more.
Wait a minute.
Oh.
This one crossed the wooden thing too.
Ah, there's my 2 shots.
But I already taken
You got
my
the
shot,
third.
so-
Wait. Is it gonna stay?
I'm gonna get the 4-pointer.
It might actually. It might be a 4-pointer.
Come
I
on.
think you've got this, but good chance
Well,
of
that
a
was
4-pointer.
thanks to you. So, thank you.
Oh, you just got a
Yes!
4-pointer.
Okay, do not just stop now.
Hey!
Oh,
Wow.
we got it. 4 points. So on this round, I officially scored just the 4 points because I don't know if these count because you didn't hit them, but they are on the board due to the wind.
Well, it
charge.
didn't make it into the 1-point zone, so I think you just win 4-0.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it didn't. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
It's good.
I'll take it.
Let's do another round.
Put these guys. Yeah. I'm gonna set them all up here. So that goes blue. This is red. We got some blue ones here.
Okay,
And
there's
blue.
Is that it?
Oops.
Have you got the last one?
Oh, wait a minute.
Something's
Hold on.
off.
Oh,
Oh,
one
I
of them has
see.
to be right up. I think they have to start right up against the wall. Okay, I'll let you move them then, and then I'll put this one over here.
So
This
you
is
got a
blue.
blue. Are we missing a red?
Yeah, it's right at the back here. It's the 4
Oh,
pointer.
of course, it's the 4-pointer. Right. Oh, we got some good action there.
Absolutely.
So we
All right, here we
randomized
go.
the
You-
game
You
again.
go first this time. Yep,
Okay, I'll go
randomize it.
first. That was poor.
Oh no!
No, that was definitely poor. That's straight out. Straight out.
All right. I think I'm kind of getting the hang of where to hit them for less. So if you hit them down below, you're popping them up in the air so they don't go as far. If you hit them up above, like
Oh.
the upper half, they're also not going as far. If you hit them dead center, they go pretty far.
I've been
So I'm gonna try to hit
focusing
it.
on left and right more is my problem.
That was.
Straight
Maybe I
out.
was wrong about that
Straight
theory.
out.
Maybe I
Okay,
was wrong.
let's try the bottom corner here. I mean, yeah, but now it's not going to get any points. Or one. Hey, that'll do. That'll do, beef. I think that's too much. That's going out. That's going out.
It is. It is. Yeah. Okay.
That's out. You saved yourself.
I think the wind charges are a little overpowered.
They are, yeah. We could just use this to like play our own game.
Let's try that one. Is that too hard too? Oh,
that is, yeah. They really slide on this ice. So much more than you think they're gonna. Right, so I'm gonna try the same thing again, but a little more middle, which almost seems more pathetic.
But hey, it's not going over, so that's important.
I got a one-pointer. Got a one-pointer.
Let me try.
That's going straight out. Straight out.
Okay, okay. I got one shot after this to make it count.
That'll get me a point.
It will.
Maybe two. Hey. Yeah. Oh, I fell.
Okay.
Oh, it's not quite two, I think.
Oh.
Oh. No, that's got to go out.
Little buddy.
That's got to go out.
Slow down.
Nah, that's out.
Oh,
see ya. Hey, look, a random block went up again. Oh. That's really strange. I have a theory.
Has it been working the whole time? And it's
oh, shoot. So the pressure plates at the back that stop the water can activate the redstone they're adjacent to. That's why that one block in the middle occasionally pops up.
Oh, I see.
I will fix that for Skiz. I'll fix that right now. Do you have a random sign on you?
I do not. I can make one though.
That's okay. I'll make one. There's supplies here that I'm going to pinch. So yeah, how about we play, and rather than use the wind charges, oh whoopsie, and rather than have all the shots already lined up, if we take our shots in turn, like you put down the cube and then you take your shot, so you get to put it anywhere you like on the front row. Oh
yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna need some more buckets.
Let me hook you up. Bang. There we go.
I don't think I have any. Yeah, I don't. Okay, awesome. So here's a couple of blue ones for you.
Oh, I could have used glow lichen. That is true. Right, so this here needs to break. Just replace it with that, and then that's that solved. I'm fixing redstone. I want to build a game with this stuff soon. Got to figure out what it's going to be. Right, I patched that bit of redstone.
Okay.
Ow.
I have all my red ones, and then you got the two blues down below, and then over here.
Okay, you got some buckets?
I got... Oh, yeah, you gave me all your buckets.
Thank you. Right. Yeah, two here, two down below. Do you want to do the honors? Take the first shot?
Sure. And then I could just place it anywhere on the board? Or on the... Not
yeah, on the
board,
first row of ice. That's where we've been hitting it from, isn't it?
All right, well, I'm going to go right down the middle here. And then... I got to be real careful. It's a little weak, but I might get into the points.
You'll get a point from that.
Yeah, it's in the one. It's in the one. Okay.
All right, here we go.
Did we end up hitting the button or no?
I didn't hit the button. Okay. That was the worst shot ever, so...
pretty
don't
slow.
Do what I did.
Okay. That's okay. I'm going to try something here. I'm going to try to actually replicate the shot I just took so that it goes in the exact same trajectory and bumps my other guy a little bit further.
Smart thinking.
Let's see. Does that work? Is that the right trajectory?
Oh, you got me thinking now about bumping your shots.
Not quite.
Oh, they're going to touch. They
are touching.
Oh, then they get quite a bit of a reaction after that.
No kidding. It's bumping my guy almost out of the ones. Okay, so far I got 2 in the 1.
All right, Beef, here we go. Right down the middle.
Oh, wait.
Oh!
You
That
may
might
have
be good
helped
for
me.
both of us.
I
Oh,
think you're right.
no! No, that's probably going to go out. Oh, dang it.
Yeah, it's looking like
That's out. That's out.
It's
See you
gonna slide
later.
out. Okay, so now I'm in the 3s. I'll take
Yeah.
it. Thank you very much.
Dang it.
All right. Okay, let's go. Maybe I'll try a little bumpery doodah over there.
Oh, you bumped your own. Oh,
was the
that might
plan.
have been
I
bad.
wanted to bump mine a
No.
little bit further.
That's good.
Yes!
They're going to hit again, though. They're going to touch again.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, they won't. They
No.
won't. Whoa, three of them in the 3s.
The stone slows them down, is what
Yeah.
I'm seeing. Okay. So
So you've got to get yours past
I'm gonna-
mine in the 3s.
I'm going to try and bump yours off and hope it works well for me. I'm going to aim... Right, didn't we say, like, center is good for the most powerful shot?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, that is
That's a
the
good
shot I
one.
wanted to make. But will
That
it
is a
slow
good
me
one.
down? It does.
Am I going over?
You're going over.
Okay. All right. So now I have to. This is my last one, so I have no choice but to try to bump you out of the way there.
Maybe? You don't have to bump me.
I'm going to.
Oh, it's a good hit. It's a really... That's probably the hit that wins the game right there.
Whoa. Okay. This is good. This is good.
That being said, you've got a cluster. Oh, no, you haven't anymore. Okay.
Yeah, they keep sliding. This one's still sliding.
I know.
All right. It's slowing
I think...
down.
Yeah, I think we're good. Let's line this one up right down the middle.
This could get crazy.
Oh, this looks good.
It's gonna hit both of them. Whoa!
Oh! Oh, dude!
Knocked 2 of them off. but
It almost
luckily-
hit this
I
one, though.
know.
Like, can you
I know.
imagine?
That would
Oh,
have been pretty cool. That would have
that'd
been
be
pretty
something.
cool. I gotta go sleep.
Beef, you clearly won that, but I have a proposal.
Yes.
What if we keep going until one of us can't go? So if you look down here, I can go again, and so can you.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
You'll need.
Let's go.
You'll need some. Oh, you got a bucket. Okay.
I still have them. Yeah.
Nice. Right.
Wait, whose turn? I guess it's my turn now then.
Yeah, your turn,
Okay.
and you'll have another one, another 2 come through. I think.
Let me try.
Yo, Thin Rail Wiss, now known as Keller V, thank you
It's
so
not
much
exactly
for
what I
56
wanted to
months. And
Did I bump
Pox
you far
Arelis, thank you ever
enough?
so
Yes,
much
I
for
did.
120. 2 years, incredible. Incredible. I will play an emote for you of some kind. Thank you so much for the 2 years of support. It's amazing. Wait. No, 120 months. Why are we saying 2 years? It's 10 years. 10 years! Alright, sorry, I had to mute for a second.
No worries. I bumped your guy all the way out of the thing.
Yeah, I foresee that we will probably both take on this strategy of, like, now just bumping the one in front. Because the fast shot can be used with less risk. But we'll see.
This is looking pretty good for the both of us here.
Yeah, that's not going off.
That stone really... Okay.
It slows it down.
All right.
Stone
Yeah,
slows
it
it
did.
down.
I think I'm going to try not to bump now. I just want to get into the 3s. Let me go... I'm going to start from this end. I'm going to do a nice, powerful hit. And let's see if it slows down enough. Oh, I did bump you. Oh, no.
Whoa! Oh, goodbye me.
Yeah, that's totally what I was planning.
It works well.
By design.
Okay, I'm seeing a shot here. I'm seeing bouncing one into the other is kind of what I'm thinking. So if I've aimed that well... Oh, no, it didn't hit the next one
Oh.
along.
It
In
is
fact...
knocking that one off.
Yeah, that's going off. That's going off. Okay. I can live with that.
Okay. Let's do... Man, I really want to, like, nail the distance here. Let me try a little bit further down. Okay,
You're like a
that looks
straight...
good.
You're looking for a straight shot that goes to the end.
Exactly.
That's going
I
to
think
take
that
some
was a good
skill.
one.
That's a great shot, yeah.
That's decent, yeah.
2 points. So where do I want to aim with this one?
It's still sliding.
Okay, I'm gonna
Wow.
try something daring. Oh no! No!
Yep.
The
Straight
angle
through.
wasn't there. The angle
Wait,
wasn't
one,
there.
two, three. I still have one in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah, you got one down here. See, I think there might be a bit of a problem here with this idea where it just keeps going forever.
It probably will if we keep.
I said actually, the way you would end it is, let's say if that one stays on the board, then we say my shot is the last shot. Because you
Okay.
got 4 on the board, right?
Yeah, this one's definitely staying on the board.
So if I knock one of yours off, it keeps the game going. So we're gonna have that
That's
loop.
true.
So
Yeah.
once you got 4 on, you know, I've only got 2 on, but the best thing I can do now is knock yours off, but then it's the end of the game.
You could, if you aim this way and knock this one out, if you aim it perfectly, you might end up taking this position and actually winning the game.
I see what you mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
But
those
it's
are
gotta be a
two. These
perfect
are
shot.
2 pointers, and this is a
Yes.
3-point. So if I get
That's right.
that being said, you would have 2 2-pointers at the moment. So the way I understood it was that, like, if you look at these ones, they're all 2-pointers, all 4 of these here.
Mm-hmm.
But you would only pick up 4 points because my one here is in front of your other one.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so
If this one gets knocked off.
if I
and-
get a
and
3-pointer, I
You
need
win, 'cause then
2 to draw.
No, I think if you get a 3-pointer, I think it's whoever is closest to the end gets the points, and anything behind that doesn't get the points. At least that's how I understood it from the example. So let
Okay.
me go look again.
Because I was looking at that second row of points in the example and thinking, they're like a draw each and every time.
Yeah, so for this first one, there's 6 points for red because both reds are in front of the blue. The second one, there's only 3 points for blue because the red is the next in line. And then this one is 9 points because it's all red. Yeah, so whatever comes behind the cube in front doesn't matter. It's basically the cube in front that is the most important. And then if you have supporting cubes, I'll call them, like if I have 2 in front of your 1, then those 2 count for points. So if you wanted to win this game right now, all you really have to do is knock this one off or just get in front of it. It doesn't matter that I have these 2
I
back
think
here.
you're mistaken because the book doesn't give you the best examples because the first bunch are all draws. When you look at the one page 5, you'll see that you get 5 points for winning both category. However, I think you're just saying it's just the front runner, right? It's always yeah. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got you.
Yeah. So as long as you knock that one off, you will win. It is going to be tough though.
I was thinking of it. I don't know. Like something about the way the book was laid out. I thought that each category was like an opportunity to score. So you would win the points in the second category regardless of what's happening in the third.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think that's. I mean, I've never played shuffleboard. Maybe
Neither have I.
in your anybody in your chat play shuffleboard?
Yeah, they'll let us know. I mean, in this day and age, though, I mean, this game's. I don't even know how old this game is, right?
It's an old game, yeah.
Everyone's playing, computer games these days, not board games.
No kidding.
So, final shot. You reckon if I knock that one off, I win?
Well, you gotta not only knock it off, you have to stick your piece.
I am gonna hardly think about it, Beef, and just go whack.
There you go. That's the best way to do it. This is looking. Oh, it might be.
Oh
a
no,
off.
it's gonna bounce it. Oh, it's bad.
It's gonna go over.
It's so bad that I just gave you 3 points plus another
Plus 2,
6.
plus 2. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plus another 6. Wow.
Wow.
That's 9, I guess. 2, 4, 6.
Look, this guy's even retreating over the 1 point line at this point.
He's like, I don't even want any part of this.
Oh, I like it. You got any plans to make these kind of games with the sulfur cubes?
Yeah, I did have a sulfur cube game in mind, but nothing concrete yet. But yeah, I wanted to do it where there's different you ever watch? Oh, you probably never watched it. American Gladiator. You probably never watched American
I watched
Gladiator.
the British Gladiator, which I think was the original, but I don't actually know. But I know the
Oh,
show
okay.
Gladiator.
Do you remember when they were inside those balls, the spheres?
Yes, yeah.
Do you remember how they had to like push them over, kind of almost like pressure plates to score points, and then like steam would come out
Oh,
of like.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I was thinking for the sulfur cubes. You have like different stations, and then teams are battling to get them into their specific station, and then try to score points. And then whenever they land inside, I guess that tiny area that has it's hard to explain, but that has the pressure plate inside. If it's your team, if it's the opposing team that you push it into, then you get the points, so on and so forth.
I think that could work, yeah.
I think so.
Sounds like fun.
I think so. It'll be interesting to get done, but I think there's a bunch of these games now already on the server.
There is a lot. I was just playing XB's one.
I haven't played any. This is the first one I've played on the server so far.
Oh, cool. I've played some of Cubs. Wait, something's off here. We're missing
a red one.
But also, were they always aligned with a gap on one side? Huh. Oh wait, I have the red one.
Oh yeah, and this one goes.
Yeah. I see it now. I made a mistake.
There we go. Oh no, sorry.
Yeah. There we go. Wow, I'm
right.
making all the mistakes. Yeah,
Nice.
I wanna make a game, but I think the way I want to approach it is to not think of a game outside of Minecraft, or like not think of a ball game, but just start with how it
like a unique.
Well, start with how it feels to interact with the sulfur cubes, because I'm noticing that, like, they're not particularly fine-tuned for some of the ways we're trying to use them, right? Like, they're a little too slippery or too bouncy. So I'm thinking, rather than trying to make, volleyball or shuffleboard or whatever it is, like, start with the sulfur cubes and see where it leads you, that kind of thing. That makes sense.
Could you volley them up, like, and just continue to volley them?
You kind of could, but because we're on a server, the lag just makes it like really awkward. Me and Cub were doing a little bit of that. We had slow falling on them, and
nice.
You could do it if you spam clicks, but then it would end up just going off to the side, and like the rally would be over pretty quick,
Okay, all right. That's disappointing.
As soon as you hit one on the side, it sends it off to the side. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So that's why I think you got to have a little bit more of that like cube first philosophy, because they don't quite behave like soccer balls or beach balls.
It's true.
They're their own thing.
And you can push them around too, right? Like you can. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I have to experiment. I think the game that I forgot what it was called. I think that'd be kind of fun.
You just gave me a vision in my head when you said you could push them around. I'm like, he's thinking about walking into them. Is that what you meant?
Yeah. You push them physically, kind of like in American Gladiator. You wouldn't use a tool or anything. You would just kind of and there would be teams battling against each other to push them in specific directions.
So picture like a square area. Maybe in each corner there's a hole, and all of these things are like in a grid, right? All sat next to each other, and the only thing you can do is run into them to try and herd them and push them into your hole. Yeah, so maybe something like that could be the trick,
Yeah, that was kind of the idea. In terms of, I was thinking there's just one, and then there's two teams on either side trying to push that one into the opposing team's holes or pressure plates or whatever it is.
That would be fun too. Yeah.
That could be cool. Yeah, but no, there's a lot of possibilities with these little guys. They've been awesome.
I think they might be like one of the best things, like the most, not best, but like the most Minecraftiest thing we've had in quite some time.
Yeah, and the least Minecraftiest thing is coming up.
Oh, what's that?
The cushions.
You're not a fan?
I'm definitely a fan of the cushions, but I feel like it's such a departure from the way everything else works in the game that it doesn't feel like, it feels more like a mod than Minecraft to me. But I love them. I think they're going to be great.
I like them. I think the thing they're missing is that you should just be able to stack them on top of each other, because you can do all of these finicky tricks to stack them and put them inside of blocks, but it's like a lot of faff, and it's clearly like a really good use of the cushion. I can't help but feel if they just made it easy to stack them, we would have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun with that. But they're great. Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're going to be interesting for builders, that's for sure.
Oh, they're going to have a field day. Plus all those new
No
slabs
kidding.
and stairs. Like,
I know. That's exciting. It's very, very exciting.
do you know what I'm not excited for?
What?
Managing all of those blocks in my inventory.
Yeah, no kidding. They still haven't addressed the inventory issue.
I know. Oh.
Yeah, there's going to be so much new stuff. I mean, right at this moment, I only have like 7 free spaces in my inventory,
Yep.
and I'm not carrying much at all.
Yep. I'm in a similar position. I'm clean, I'm organized, and still somehow the space feels off.
Uh-huh.
Did you ever get around to visiting my bundle shop, by the way?
Your bundle shop.
Yeah, it's not a shop, it's like a tutorial on how to use the bundle effectively.
Maybe not.
You should totally do that.
Okay.
I mean, if you got time, I could show you around now.
Yeah, I got some time.
Okay, so should we hop in a group thing?
Sure.
Open streaming, I'm in. There we go.
There
yeah,
we go.
just this way.
This rocket ship looks so cool.
Yeah, the whole area looks so good.
Yeah, that's true.
We're hitting that point now where lots of builds are just like in eye shot of each other, and the whole place is feeling really lived in. So yeah, my base, if you can see me where I'm gonna land down here,
Yeah.
it's I call it the promenade.
Yeah, I've been to your base. You gave me a tour. I don't think you showed me the bundle thing though.
Oh, okay, that might have been really early on then. So like, each of these buildings has something in it. Like you got a shop for your copper golem statues. If ever you need record discs, that's in this one. But here,
Okay.
this is the bundle tutorial. So bundles are actually a really great way to deal with some of your inventory issues, but takes a little bit of know-how, you know what I mean?
Let's see.
So yeah, I'll let you wander around, and you're supposed to start facing this bit. It's not perfect, but
Okay.
you'll figure it out.
Welcome to Bundle Boutique. Learn how to get more out of a bundle. Turn around, follow the path. You get a free bundle at the end. I like it already.
Yeah.
Free bundle at the end. Okay. So the path is, I'm guessing, that just this.
Yeah,
general,
you got it now.
Yeah. Okay. How often do you need to craft? Keep a bench and cutter on you at all times. A bench and cutter. Okay. Oh, in the bundle, you mean?
Yes, yeah. Because you can
Okay,
put both
gotcha.
of those things into one slot with the bundle.
Oh. Into one slot?
Yeah, I think, is it starting to click a little bit already?
No. Okay, hold on.
Maybe not.
You're building and you need to smelt some blocks, include some fuel and a furnace. Yes.
Again,
Yeah, I got
inside one slot rather than filling up your inventory, right? Because it's in the bundle.
Oh, right. I got that. I thought you meant one slot in the bundle itself, and I'm like, that's not physically possible. Been playing for more than 5 minutes. Was that intentional? That's you spelled four.
Dude, someone comes around here and changes these, I swear. It's just supposed to be like that.
It almost makes sense.
I think
4 and then
Joe
more
did
than
that.
5
That
minutes.
feels like a Joe Hills change.
I feel like you're right. I'm playing for more than 5 minutes. Clear up that inventory junk with a bundle in your bundle. Yes, that's actually, I didn't even realize you can do that.
Yeah, so you got like backup bundles in your bundle for when
Uh-huh.
your inventory's a mess again.
Okay. Herding sheep, tamed a dog, lead an alley. Always having leads and fence posts is a must. I agree. Fallen into a spot of bother or need to get up high? Keep a couple of ender pearls on you too. Very good, yes. I can't believe I didn't mention it sooner. Ender chests get access to even more stuff. Very good point. Love adventure and exploration? Keep a gapple for emergency recovery. Need to work with water? Include a bucket and ice for infinite water. All this fits inside one bundle?
Yes, yeah.
Wow, all these items can be with you at all times just in one slot. You can also use bundles to store all items needed to brew potions. Other useful items. I found another one. Include anvil, sponge, snowball, lodestone, etc. Take a utility bundle before you leave. It's free. A utility bundle. Are these the utility bundles?
Yes, they are. Yeah. Now.
Oh wow! And you still have space in it.
Yeah, there is one thing here. I'm going to send you a screenshot of what mine looks like. Where's Discord? I'll hit you up on Discord.
Okay.
Now, this is because I got a mod installed that just lets you see everything rather than that vanilla limitation. Right. And then all you have to do is when you're hovering over the bundle is scroll left and right and it highlights which one you want and then you pick out the item that you want.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah. So there's a little bit of like learning how to use it that I didn't quite get into this tutorial area, I guess. But once you know that, it's like, you know, I'm out and about, I need my ender chest, I need a crafting bench or a stone cutter. How often does this happen? Quite a lot. And it's all just in one little space instead of all over your inventory.
That's not bad at all. I mean, the Swiss bundle knife. I love it.
Yeah, it's a good name for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty good. I might have to start doing that. I mean, I'm always like a huge mess in my... It's constant. It's annoying. And bundles don't really work well for me because I don't use that mod. Because, you know, if you want to pick something out, you got to take everything out.
Yeah, I've had the luxury of like really trying to use it, but also having that mod. And if I were to go back to doing it with just vanilla, then I think it would still be handy. But as soon as you put too many things in there, they're then hidden, and it's like frustrating. Right. Why did they do that? We need to see all of it.
I mean, I feel like this would be a perfect solution to Mojang's inventory issues. Like having the ability to look in the bundle and take out what you need instead of having to take everything out.
Yeah,
would be perfect.
It really would. But for some reason, I think it has something to do with being on console.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like console controls work a bit different. So they have to design features to work on like Pocket Edition and console. And so,
that's a bummer.
Yeah. Why?
It is what it is.
I mean, to be fair, Java players on all the players, so.
That's true. That's true. We used to be.
Yeah, many moons ago.
Exactly. All right. Well, thanks for the bundle. That's awesome. And all that stuff inside is mine too. Wow,
yeah.
Take it.
Keep it. Make use of it.
I will take it.
Sweet.
Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for the games.
Good to hang out.
We should probably get like a 2v2 going at some point. Maybe have Skiz involved as well, because Skiz knows how everything is supposed to be working.
Yeah, then he can explain what's going on.
All right, I'm gonna take off.
All right. See you around, dude.
Later.
Oh, wonderful. Let's go this way. Do we have music? We have music playing. It just got a little bit quiet. I think now's a great time for us to... I'm going to sit back down again. I'm very conscious of standing without moving because it leaves weight on my ankle. Bear with me, chat. I wasn't prepared for this. This idea popped into my head before I started streaming, right? So I don't have them on my playlist, but I now have the MP3s for all the songs ready to go. Ugh! That's the sound of the desk. It's doing what it's got to do. Yeah, we got all the songs. So we'll listen to all the songs. We'll listen to them in order. Order of creation. So we've got my original C418 inspired. Hey, I just kind of realized maybe I should do this on the server, right? Then I got to take a jukebox around with me. Maybe not, but I kind of wanted to show you the disc, so we'll head over there. All right, very first custom record for this season. I made one for myself. Right here, it is called 6. Let's play that. I haven't tagged the MP3, so they probably don't display the name and stuff correctly. Unknown artist, unknown title. Yeah, that's... I love unknown artists' music. So good. Let's turn this up a little bit. Bit quiet. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so here's the dealio. All of these songs that I'm creating, I made one for myself, one for Skiz, one for Cubfan, one for Efo. I might hit up XB and ask him about one for him, but I got to do them one at a time, and I'm doing one for Jevin next. All of these songs are now on streaming platforms and on Bandcamp. So if you want to support, excuse me, my ambition to, you know, at least make somewhat of an income from making music, that'll never be the priority with music. It'll always be music first. Unless it turns out that I really like, I don't know, composing what other people ask for, which I've actually really liked so far. I thought this would be really difficult, but I like the way someone asks for something and you're channeled into a direction, and then you got to like put the pieces together. It's like a puzzle that you're figuring out, and along the way the musical magic happens. It's really quite different from my usual way of writing, which is like I'm seeking some sort of like feeling. Where the heck did that thing come from? Is there like a dark spot for it to spawn there? Oh, literally right there. Okay, thank you. Usually you are like seeking out some sort of expression or feeling and then like following that in a way that is all about you, as in the composer. When you're composing for someone else, it's not quite like that. And I thought I wouldn't like that experience, but so far I've actually really enjoyed it. Especially the spaghetti western. That was a real like go outside of your comfort zone and figure out how the heck you do this thing. And it turned out great. So I've put those songs on Bandcamp and I've put them on the streaming platforms. And I just want y'all to enjoy it. That's it. You could totally talk to Jono about the joys of composing for people. He's literally the guy. Vinnet, the way you've worded that message, yeah, the joys of composing for other people. I never thought that would be what music would be for me, but maybe it could be. Oh, jeez. Poor guy. Mumbo! I've been trying to get hold of Mumbo for so long. I have something so cool to show him. I have his painting. I really want to show it to him because it's actually the first one I got done, and I haven't been able to catch Mumbo on the server as of yet. All right, track number 2 that we made, the one for Skiz. I know that, logging in for a screenshot, logging in to get something together. The life of a YouTuber, my friends. Ah, this is a banger, man. This always gets me like my energy up, you know what I mean? Let's go do a workout. Cookie Myers says your music is always so atmospheric. It feels like you create a world or story with it. I love it. Thank you, man. I love that you hear that. I can't say that with this music it's that deep. It's about finding a vibe and following it, but to me, my music is always the experience of doing it. It's very hard for me to describe it any other way than that, if that makes sense. But like, that's the beauty of music. We all hear different things in it. So like, how you hear it is totally valid too. But with these tracks, there's definitely conceptuality with it. Like, I didn't just pluck this out of thin air. I thought about the vibe. I wanted to create an arcadey feel. And then I found the right instruments, the right notes, and then the drum kit. And like, you're piecing things together, going in a direction. So there is thought that's put into it that, you know, adds up, I think. And you'll probably realize with the spaghetti shooter song that we did for Cub that I really had to just, you know, figure out how to do a different style of music. I've never written anything like that before. So yeah, you put in that effort, and then once you know what you're doing, you follow the feeling more. Soundwave Hope, thanks for putting the Bandcamp and Spotify links in the chat. I would love it if peeps were to you know, go give it a follow, spread the word, tell your friends, whatever, because you know how much your boy X loves music, and it's not being published under the Soulside Eclipse name because it's not built in the same vein. So yeah, this one right here, this is all totally outside of my comfort zone. Didn't know what the heck I was doing. Just listened to a bunch of spaghetti western, figured some stuff out, did some research, put together the ideas, you know. Got to use some minor chords and minor scale and get that nice surf rock guitar sound and throw it all together. What did you use to make the art for these singles, says Of the Goats? I actually just used screenshots of blocks in Minecraft. Like I would go up to sandstone and do that and take a screenshot. And then I would run it through some filters and manipulate that image until it turned into something else. So I got to express a little bit of a different artistic side through that. It was very ad hoc and quick though. Like the single covers are there. If anyone wants to... Oh, whoops, don't do that. If anyone wants to see them. I noticed there are some controls so I can skip to the one that I want to see. So, left-hand side you might notice is actually wall blocks. The way that got distorted kind of lets you see it's still wall blocks. The EFO one is a sulfur cube. Then you have sandstone for Cub's record disc. And my one was moss. But I've just distorted them over and over again, is the idea. So yeah, on Bandcamp, on streaming. If you want to learn how to play piano, I recommend the Simply Piano app. Why'd that one skip by so quick? Where'd it go? It's disappeared, man. Bring it back. There it is. Beautiful fan art by Ender Void Wolf. And then it just disappeared again. Oi, I'm talking about that one. Yeah, you've also got my Soulside Eclipse music you can check out as well. Anyway, let's leave that alone. Come back to this. Any other questions, chat? If you're listening, go give it a follow. That's all I ask. Yeah, I'm just excited. You know, I don't know where this is gonna go, but we're just doing this now. We're gonna make more Xisuma songs this season, and yeah, enjoy the whole process. All right, now we got EFO's new song. I love this. This, I think, is my best production so far. I took a different approach to producing this. I started to think about like my workflow and doing things smarter. And I also put together all the instruments in a way where they're kind of leveled and tweaked, you know, tweaking IQs, adding reverbs. They're all done so that they like fit together from the beginning. So when I started composing, it made it so much easier to just have a cohesive sound for whatever you're trying. Really lets you hear what doesn't work as well when you're trying to figure out like what notes an instrument needs to go to. You just remembered you wanted to make tea like 2 hours ago. Where's your brain today? Probably in this day and age in a distracted environment where it gets pulled in all different directions, which is what I experience every single day, it feels like. Just constant trying to do one thing and then realize you got to do another. And it's because as soon as you open up a web page, like all websites are designed to just show you stuff you might be vaguely interested in and distract you. I hate it. One thing I love about producing music is I just spend hours at a time just totally locked in. I don't know how many hours I put into this one, but I spent a whole day in like 2-hour chunks just cracking on with it. It was great. Right, chat, you're being quiet. I'm encouraging you to come say hello. We've got a lot of peeps tuned in today. It's a Hermitcraft live stream weekend, so if you want to see the schedule, go to livestream or live.hermitcraft.com. Joe Hill is up next. I'm going to raid Joe. I'm not part of the schedule because I wasn't sure if I could commit or not, but I could. And we get to kick off the day with a little boost for Joe. You're also playing Minecraft. That's it. The multitasking is real. Well, thanks to the peeps saying hello. Have you got any questions? Let's put on some more Minecraft music here. Oh, and turn it down a little bit now. Back to normal volume for the time being. Oh, am I full up? I'm full up. Your local Chaos Gremlin says, hi, Mr. Music. Thank you. I do not mind that nickname at all. You have a question? Have I had a good morning so far, X? I have. Yeah, it's been all right. Woke up, went for a walk, stretched out a bit, had my breakfast, cleaned up, got ready for this. Yala reminded me something. Tuesday is snapshot day from X, right? You get your snapshot video if we have one. And then in the evening on our stream, it's going to be a scheduled thing because I'm going to do what are called FOMO streams. So on a Tuesday evening, I'm going to stream copyrighted music that I can't post as a VOD. There'll be no Twitch VOD. There'll be no X2 VOD. And what we actually do is just chat about music. I also pull up my browser. We can watch videos. We can look at discographies. We just focus on having a chat about music, and probably going to do a very casual one this Tuesday and then work towards doing some more focused ones in the future. But I got some cool stuff for Tuesday, that's for sure. I mean, I'll never have a shortage of cool stuff to talk about with music, so we'll be sharing some songs, probably listening to some new releases, and you know, I'll be on the server, but I won't really be doing anything. I'll be digging a hole and then chatting to all of you most of the time about it. What helps you not get bored playing the same world for so long, says Emerald ATD. Well, I play with all of my friends, and the experience gets shared with all of you. If you just look at what we do as hermits, you'll see we're always like pushing boundaries and trying different things. I for example, am doing my music thing this season, and that's keeping it all really interesting for me, exploring where that's going to go. You remember watching Adastera, then your Liminal Mind demo came out. Loved that so much. Kind of felt similar music to Animals by Nils Fram. Captain Deadpool, if you recommended that album to me, I ended up listening to it and really loving that release. Fantastic record. If you're picking up on the similar vibes, it's because Liminal Mind is a very like meditative song, and a lot of the time that those vibes overlap with space music. So I'd recommend looking up artists like Dream State Logic, looking up some ambient music. You'll find the overlaps are there, the similarities and stuff in terms of vibe. You don't watch stream that often. Would you recommend a fellow player that has discovered that his world could be finally his forever world? I really don't know of anyone that fits that category. Maybe Efo, like before anyone called it a forever world, Efo's basically been playing in a forever world. Although it's his second world of the Let's Play, I don't think he's got any plans to get rid of that world. Which hermits are really impressing / inspiring you this season? Ooh, I don't like doing this, right? I don't like doing this. I feel like I might leave someone out. Let's pull up Hermitcraft. Wait, did that do it right? It did. Hermitcraft.com. If I click here, yeah, now we can see it. All right. Oh, these ads come up on my iPad, man, for these silly. It reminds me of these silly games. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. Never mind. Let's ignore the ads. Let's see. I don't want to like forget anyone. I mean, let's go through every hermit one by one, right? B-dubs, always knocking it out of the park by pushing that kind of like picture or painting way of looking at Minecraft. Cub's always just being Cub, just constantly coming up with cool contraptions, cool buildings, mini games. Doc's been doing all of his technical stuff, the Shulker Box game, right? The Shulker Farm game, pretty impressive. Efo's got the villager trading hall that he done. That's a standout thing for me. The way the villagers pop up when you walk around, I like that one a lot. False has been killing it with the scale of her building. Like every season, False levels up as a builder, and this season it's like the scale. There's something about the way it's spread out. And the theme, everything's tied together extremely well. Gem's obviously got a massive build in like eyeshot right in front of us. And it's going to go all the way to the – build limit of the game, which right now I can't even envision. but it looks fantastic so far. Super impressed of how, again, scale. Like, building at scale is an interesting thing to get it right. Grian's done all sorts of awesome stuff this season. As always, being in the middle of shenanigans, but that observatory looks absolutely amazing. I see that all the time when I look out my base. Hypno's been a bit MIA. He's built his giant pyramid, which was a throwback to Season 1 for me. I absolutely love the interior of his Season 1 base. That was really, really cool, and it was nice to see him do that again. Impulse has got the silo. I'm trying to, you know, I'm reading everyone out one by one, and I'm thinking, I'm just trying to answer the question, like, the question was, who have I been most inspired by? I know someone did something. I can't think of anything Tango's been doing, though. I don't know what Tango's up to these days, you know. I knew there was something on this season that really piqued my interest. Yeah, there it is. There it is. I go like top to bottom and start thinking about everyone's base, and then it pops out to me. Let's stop with the one by one. Let's come back to the game. Yeah. Definitely, without a doubt, for me, I think it's Corrales who has kind of, like, you know, in my mind, just really knocked it out of the park. That Roman base, the theme, all the details, the scale of his base, the big, the small, the in-between, it's also good. It's also good. And I think he's got my favorite base of this season. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Corrales. Also, I guess have I still got it up? Yeah. I guess while I'm here, actually, let me pull it down for a second. And back up. This is the schedule for today. So you got Joe, then you got Doc, you got False, Cub and Scar streaming together, Impulse, and Jevin. So stick around, because the rest of your day is loaded with Hermitcraft action, which is pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Oh, do we have a noise in here? Ginger the Lily, thank you so much for 16 months. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tango is doing a small game in his spare time, you think? Lazy. Oh, I got a bit of spare time. I'll make a little game. Yeah, whatever, Tango. Yeah, we all know what Tango's up to. How proud are you of what you did so far in the season? I'm not a proud person. Like, there are certain things about being a human that I just don't have, and like, jealousy is one and pride is another. I never understood jealousy. If someone's got something like you like, I'm usually just happy for them. Like, I don't get like how that could feel negative for you. Pride is another one. I don't know why, but something about pride is just like it's not a feeling I have about stuff. I can however be proud of others. Like when you see someone doing something really great, who's your friend, and you're like, oh, I'm like proud of you. That kind of makes sense. But being proud of your own things, it's like not really. Like, I can be proud of Hermitcraft, right? But I can't be proud of what I did in Hermitcraft. I'm just sort of proud of everyone else, if that makes sense. What was the original question about the pride thing? Because I think it was, how proud of what you... Yeah, no, it was about me. So, of what I'm doing this season, that's my own experience. I just think of it in terms of how I go day to day doing whatever it is I do. Pride isn't really a thing. Okay, yeah, we're not gonna use this down here anymore. I just, you know, it's just an experience, and I'm happy doing it. That's all it is, really. Last stream weekend, you got into Ren's content. Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, it's always a great opportunity to discover someone you haven't watched before, of course. Vinit, my dude, thank you for 38 months. Appreciate you. Hope you're enjoying the stream, having a good time and all that jazz. So, what feeling do you get when you achieve a goal? That's a great question. I tend not to be very goal-oriented to begin with, so I don't tend to, like, set some arbitrary thing I'm trying to achieve. I mean, there's certain things in life that like constitute, in a way, having a goal. Like when you do big stuff like, I don't know, getting a new car or moving house or doing big life stuff, that's kind of more of a goal-oriented activity. Now you've got like some clear end goal. But in terms of personal things I want to do, like playing, I'll tell you what, the closest thing to it is like trying to learn a song on guitar. I guess a song that I'm trying to learn becomes a goal, right? And then I just practice and keep pushing in that direction. But yeah, what feeling do I get? I mean, just satisfaction, but like it's the journey too. So the act of learning a guitar song isn't like some other feeling until I get to the finish line. It tends to be the same feeling all the way there. You're just getting to the next bit and getting to the next bit. And then when you finally start like nailing that song, or you can play it all the way through, there's still more to do after, because then you have to get more comfortable with it. Then you have to rock out while you play it. And like the levels of doing it just never end. It's always about just like continuously doing the thing that you love, I guess. How do I decide what to do next? Usually for me, it's just there's not enough time and there's all these things that I want to do. So it's never difficult because I'm never going to run out of stuff to do. By the way, I said that we would make a song here today. We'll backlog that to the next Hermitcraft stream, right? Not going to do it on my FOMO stream because we're going to, you know, being on the server and in the game is more of an excuse to chat to all of you about music. So we're not really going to be focused on stuff. But when we're next doing a Hermitcraft stream, I really want to make a song. And that's probably going to be later in the week because I got a very busy week. So we've got the Tuesday stream, and then it'll probably be Thursday or Friday, my next stream after that. When was the FOMO stream? Tuesday evening. It's on my Twitch schedule. I've marked it down as every Tuesday. If there's a reason I can't do it one Tuesday, we will always aim to keep doing them on Tuesdays after the live streams. After the snapshots, even. All right. So you can count on X for that. We're gonna go for it. You know, something will come up. It'll be like, oh, I'll have 2-3 things come up in a row, sure. But we'll always try and get back to Tuesdays being the FOMO music stream, right? That's how it works. You play Minecraft for a living. How busy can you be? I'm glad you put joke on the end of that, because I'm like, you can be as busy as you want to be in life. I'm always oriented about doing things, so I'm not the kind of person that would just have an evening where I like don't have a plan and sit down in front of the telly. I can't do that. I have to be like, right, there's a song I need to make. There's a thing I need to do for a video. There's this job that needs taken care of. That thing over here, I need to fix something. You know, I've always got a list of stuff that needs doing, and I do it. And it's just, that's the way I live, I guess. You love the new EFO song. You left a comment with the idea of doing some Star Wars Cantina I am not going to create a like musical to-do list because it will get very big and then it will overwhelm me. I am always listening to music and thinking about, I could do that, I could do this, I could do this. I just have to like wait until the time is in front of me that I'm doing something and take whatever's lying around. So it will be at the behest of whatever the hermits want from me. If Scar hits me up and he's like, hey, I want Star Wars Cantina music, then that's what I'll do for Scar, right? Taking care of yourself can be a full-time job. It feels like that. Yeah. Assuming we call that a workaholic. Maybe. I don't know. It's just how I like to be. Oh, I haven't been here in a long time, by the way. This was a remarkable build earlier in the season. And I imagine by now it's probably full of amazingness. The only reason you're not listening to music right now is because you have your voice to entertain me. Oh, thank you. Joe could be a long way. Hey, Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? Oh, what is this? I don't know what that is. Joe is actually right here. Ish. I feel like he might be underground, actually. This feels like the sort of place Actually, according to this, no, he's not. Okay, I can work with that. How's bidding on Etho's Elytra? I haven't checked it, but last I heard it was very, very high. How often are these stream weekends? Not often enough. Not often enough.
Xisuma!
Howdy!
I hear you.
Hi.
Howdy! Hi. I heard you were getting started early.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you were able to hop on, even if I couldn't get you on the schedule. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, you know what I'm like lately. I just have so much going on that I'm never really sure if I can or can't make it. So, surprise little extra stream over here. Ready to hand it off to you for the official thing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
What you got cooking for the stream?
Well, right now, you might notice I'm halfway between my base and B-Dubs' base here.
Yeah, you are a ways out. Okay, so B-Dubs is in that direction. I can't remember the last time I visited B-Dubs. He's so far away.
See, B-Dubs and I were talking about that last week, about how there's no real connectors between his base and the rest of the server. And I had a path that stopped about here, right this way, which I had told him like months ago. Hey, I've got a road that goes north toward your base.
Right. I'm here.
And if you want to connect to it, you can. He's like, well, if you want to extend it a little bit closer to my base, I'll connect to that. So I've been trying to figure out the best way to approach his base. I kind of terraformed through here a little bit, carving out this valley, putting a log across the ravine. And then when I got to this next part, it got a little tricky. I cleared out some trees. So I'm still kind of workshopping this and trying to figure it out in a way that he can connect to it. I mean, I'm going to let him... Obviously, he's the genius who's going to terraform it to look amazing from his area.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to rough it in so he can do the creative part and not the obnoxious, like, how much do I need to change the slope of this hill for horses, you know?
So far, I'd say it catches the sightline nicely. Like, you're going through the trees, you see a bit of the ocean, you see the hill here come into focus, it gets bigger. Oh, so he's over there on the left?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the tricky part that I'm going to be looking at a little bit today is there's this weird elevation change right here.
Yeah, that is tricky.
And so I'm not sure about having the path kind of continue down this way and maybe zigzag down to here. But the problem with that is it's got to go back up to meet his path. So I'm kind of trying to figure out where I want to leave it without stepping on his toes, because I don't want to cut into anything that's super visible from his current base, because it might be a few weeks before he has a time to prioritize this, and I don't want his view looking terrible for weeks.
Got ya. So where's his path start?
That's you're nearly there. It wraps up at the end of a bridge over... Oh, there it is. You actually were closer to it than I was.
Here, okay.
Yeah, and he's got this great little bridge over here.
He's gone kind of close to the mountain there, hasn't he?
Yeah, and so that's one of the reasons I was originally thinking I would try and keep it a little higher up and maybe look at finding a way to hug the mountain. Also, he has something under these path blocks. What is that?
Something underneath. Well, that's a gap. So this looks like maybe it's terraforming and he's just left.
Oh.
Yeah, he's terraform. Oh, do you know what, Joe? If we just take a step over here, then it becomes obvious.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay.
Now you can see what it is.
Yeah, I see it perfectly now. Awesome. But yeah, so I'm going to try to not ruin B-Dubs' base while helping connect B-Dubs' base. This is basically what I'm up to in the short term.
Yeah.
And then I've also got a slime cube problem. I accidentally invented a hyper efficient slime cube breeder.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Do you want to fly after me? I'll show you that.
Well, before we he's gone.
No, it's okay.
I was just gonna say,
I'm coming back.
Before we leave, if you look at where his path goes, it goes behind the trees and down to the mountain. I think if you were to follow the bottom of the mountain, like, there's plenty of space in front of that path for it to be a little bit hidden. Or he might want to bring it into focus. You can kind of do whatever you like. But if you build it up high, then it's stuck up there, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right, if I'm going to follow you, let's jump into open streaming. Hey.
Okay, this area is also not creeper proof, so we really don't want to loiter here. That's one of the reasons I took to the skies immediately, because I was like, oh, this is going to get us blowing up B-Dubs' base.
Yes, yeah, we don't want no creepers over there. Oh, I can see the path as well. Yeah.
But yeah, the path makes it real easy to connect, you know, the two areas, even when you're not on a horse, right? Just because you know where you're going. So if we land in front of the theater here, I had a single named slime cube escape from the theater.
Okay.
And apparently, if a slime cube is named and goes out to
These
sea...
are not slime cubes, Joe.
What are they?
The
Sulfur
sulfur
cubes?
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, I accidentally bred a bajillion of them because one of them fell in the water. And apparently at some point after they
Oh.
bounce around in the water, they get tired and then they split.
Oh, they drown.
And then I think it has something to do with whether or not their AI is active, if they're at the edge of, like, within chunk load distance, but not close enough for their movement AI to kick in.
Right.
And I have a skeleton farm that is just that distance away, where they're bouncing in and out. As I walk from one part of the skeleton farm to the storage part of the skeleton farm, it's loading and unloading these chunks in such a way that these guys are going everywhere. So I'm gonna probably be scooping a bunch of these guys up with buckets during the stream too.
I feel
'Cause
like
I didn't.
I feel like
This
Minecraft.
looks like a prank, but it was just a mistake.
Yeah, I feel like Minecraft has had a few of these over the years, and it's been a long time since they added something. And there's just this thing where, like, oh, if you leave it over here, then it causes a problem. And like, you found it. You found it.
I found it. Don't let them wander into the sea.
Yeah. So it's when the sea is loaded, but their AI isn't active because it's just a bit further away. They drown. They split. And then the babies will grow up, drown again, and split. And so they just keep multiplying. Wow.
Yeah, what I can't figure out is why the babies don't drown, but maybe they shoot up to the surface without AI initially when they're babies.
That's interesting,
or something.
yeah.
But this is just something I stumbled onto yesterday and was like, I need to clean this up before Cleo logs in. Because
Yeah.
this looks really irresponsible as a pet owner.
It also looks kind of cool. Your ocean's got more life.
Yeah, but, you know, I also don't want to be to blame for why the, you know, mob count might
Yeah.
be. I might be hitting
Might
the
be
mob
messed
count
up.
with this.
Yeah,
might not
you
be
need to
ideal.
scoop them all up, Joe.
I'm gonna get to scooping.
Are they named?
Well, the first one was named. Here's what causes the problem.
Yes, they
is
are.
that if the first one is named, when they split, both the new ones are named.
Yeah, it's to stop them despawning. So now they won't despawn. But they also won't be a part of the mob cap.
Oh, that's good at least.
Yeah, but they
They'll
will
just slowly eat
contribute
away
to
at the server
entities.
processor.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up too.
Yeah. You got lots to do today.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You're gonna be a busy bee. Right, I'll send my people over to you, Joe.
Sounds good. Thanks for
And,
stopping by, X.
Yeah, they know what they're in for now. Some scooping.
Apparently.
Scooping and pathing.
Woo.
Cool. All right, I'll wrap up my stream and send them over.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Catch you later, X.
Right, I'm actually just going to wander in this direction for a second. Ren's Cold Sun, thank you so much for 47 months. Appreciate you, my dude. And that wraps us up on Noises on the Ear for this evening. As you know, you're going to Joe next, so I just got to do that riggedy raid, right? Very simple into the stream. Remember, the music is now on major streaming platforms. That's the Minecraft music we've been making for other hermits. It's on Bandcamp. I should throw this up on the stream, shouldn't I? There it is. We've got 4 tracks so far. I'll be making more. The EFO one dropped yesterday, and I'll see you again on Tuesday with our FOMO stream. Let's find Joe. Found Joe. I think Joe streams on YouTube as well, if you prefer that. So, getting the raid underway. And then I shall bounce. That's it. Thank you, Beeps. Enjoy the raid. Bye-bye.